the round of 12 now completed after an exciting 15-lap dash to the finish at Kansas that saw fan favorite Chase Elliott sneak in by only 3 points, as Brad Keselowski would have an ill-handling nightmare as he was being passed both left and right to just miss the round of 8. With the focus now on the final 4 spots for Homestead next month, crunch time is now for some of NASCAR's biggest stars. With that said, what is going on, guys? This is your Angry Birds NASCAR fan, the Blue GB48 fan here, and this is my Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Final 4 prediction video for the 2019 season. To start off, I'm going to list off the drivers who will not advance to the Final 4, and then in order of seeding, I will list off my Final 4 predictions, and towards the end, I will give you guys my pick to win the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Championship. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and you might disagree with me on some of my predictions, and that's totally fine. I want to be proven wrong, and I want to be shocked in some way. But take this list with a grain of salt. This is just strictly my own theories. If you do happen to enjoy this video though, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload from this channel. We've got a lot of new content coming up this offseason, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. And now, it's time to list off my 4 drivers who will not make it to the Final 4 in Homestead. Unfortunately, we have to start off this list with one of my favorite drivers to watch in recent years of the sport. Kyle Larson has had an up and down season. One week he's oh so close to sealing the deal. The next week, he has a problem of some sort or gets in a crash. It's just been that rough for Larson this year. Despite 5 stage wins and a win in the round of 12 at Dover, Larson has only garnered up 15 top 10s and 7, yes you heard that right, 7 DNFs so far this season. 2 of the tracks coming up in the round of 8 are not in his favor either. In 11 starts at Martinsville, out of the near 5,000 laps Larson has run at the half-mile paperclip, he has only led 29 of those, and his combined average finish is an abysmal 23.6, including 2 crashes in the past 2 fall races. Texas isn't worse for Larson, but it's not better by much. Since the 2017 repave, Larson has only 2 top 5s in the past 5 races. The others were DNFs as well. The only hope that Larson has for the round of 8 is ISM, as since the rebranding and reconfiguration of the track, Larson has scored 2 top 10s in a row with an average finish of 4.5. The way I see it is that Larson could once again find himself in a must-win scenario, especially with not much success at both Martinsville and Texas. But his talent behind the wheel cannot be denied by any stretch. If Larson can pull off a miracle at ISM, don't sleep on him come Homestead. It's going to be a long shot for the 42 team, but if I'm honest, I just don't think it's going to be enough to compete for the title, but let's hope for the best. If I'm being honest, these next 3 drivers could all potentially win and lock up their Final 4 spot, so these picks may be a bit head-scratching, but once again, this is just my opinion. Next up is a driver who honestly I didn't even predict making the round of 8, and that is Ryan Blaney. After a surprise win at Talladega in a photo finish with Ryan Newman, Blaney now finds himself starting up the round of 8, 21 points below the cutoff line. However, in the 3 races coming up, Blaney in the past has shown signs of life. In the last 4 races at Martinsville, Blaney has scored 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and an average finish in 9th. Similar stats can be said for Texas as well, with the exception of an overheating issue in the spring. ISM, however, is not Blaney's cup of tea. In 7 races at Phoenix, Blaney has finished inside the top 10 only 3 times, including a 3rd place finish in the spring. The way I see Blaney not making the Final 4 is not from consistency, but due to his equipment. Penske has been a step back to other teams this year, especially with the new Mustang, and I've been noticing this for a few years now. Penske shows up in qualifying, yet doesn't seal the deal in the race. Honestly, Blaney will have to luck his way in due to other drivers' misfortunes. Otherwise, a Championship 4 playoff spot will not be in Ryan Blaney's sights this year. And the same could be said for his teammate. With Joey Logano entering the round of 8 as the man on the bubble, only 2 points to the good, an early points cushion is a top priority for the 22 team. Martinsville is a great track to capitalize on that. Since the move to Penske back in 2013, Logano has done fairly well at Martinsville, scoring 5 poles and a win in the fall of last year, which led to his first career championship. And since the repave at Texas, he has only finished outside the top 10 once. But you're about to ask, why do I have Logano eliminated in my bracket? Well, I'll tell you. Despite a win in the fall of 2016 at ISM, this track has been absolutely miserable to the Middletown, Connecticut driver. In the past 5 races at ISM, Logano's best finish is 10th and has failed to take advantage of strong qualifying runs. Once again, this falls back on Penske's equipment, and I predict that history will repeat itself for Logano. He might up the wick at Martinsville, Texas, but I would be on pins and needles once ISM rolls around if you are a fan of the 22. My final driver to be eliminated from this upcoming round is one you might find very shocking. And he's one of my favorites as well. But I predict that Chase Elliott will miss the Final Four.
You serious?
Okay. Hear me out just for 1 second. Chase Elliott hasn't had the best of seasons this year, and in 2018, he did make the round of 8, but ran into trouble at ISM late in the going. This year, though, could be the closest chance he has to make the Final Four and compete for the title. 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s in the past 5 Martinsville races is a definite plus. Hasn't finished worse than 13th since the repave at Texas, and an average finish of 10th place at ISM makes Chase a possible Final Four dark horse. But the playoff format has always seemed to bite Chase at the wrong times. Wrecked while leading at Martinsville in 2017, passed for the lead which eliminated him in his rookie year. There is some sort of bad luck that Chase has in this playoff format. The track that ultimately could decide his fate is ISM, as in his past 2 races there, Chase has run into trouble. As much as I want him to be in my Final Four, I predict that ISM will be the place that will do him in. And with all of that said, my Final Four drivers are set. I'm sure you know who they are by now, but we're going to go in order by seed, with the number 1 pick being my championship prediction. And coming in as the number 4 seed will be Kevin Harvick. While Martinsville has been burger and fries to Harvick, Texas and ISM have been steak and potatoes to the 4-car. You have to go all the way back to 2011 to find Harvick's one and only grandfather clock, as his average finish is 15.1 in 36 starts. But Texas might be his best shot to lock in that Final Four spot, as in the past 10 races at Texas, Harvick has finished no worse than 10th, and has scored 2 wins, both of them in the past 2 fall races. The same can be said for ISM too, as in the past 12 races, Harvick has scored 6 wins, 10 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and in 33 starts, his overall average finish is a mighty impressive 9.3. I seed him number 4, however, because of how more dominant the other 3 drivers are and how they might be during the championship race. That isn't to say he could win it all in Miami for the 2nd time. Next up at number 3, we have Kyle Busch. Now, I know probably some of you expect me to put him at number 1, but the reason why I have him at number 3 is because he's there, but he's not there enough. Why do I say not enough? Well, his performance in the playoffs is a bit lacking, to say the least. But every time he has a mediocre car, he somehow makes a top 10 out of that. That shows you his talent behind the wheel. 2 wins in Martinsville and 3 wins at both Texas and ISM, all with decent average finishes, may make the round of 8 a breeze for Busch. However, I'm not getting my hopes up for Homestead. Yes, he does only have 2 DNFs and hasn't finished worse than 6th since 2015. But my prediction, like I just said, he's there, but he's not there enough. And I think that will be the case. Well, you guys know who my number 1 is on this list, but we'll talk about him in just a second. But first, let's talk about my number 2 seed of Martin Truex Jr. Although he has the most wins so far this season with 6, He's not as more dominant, though, as my championship prediction pick. 13 top 5s and 20 top 10s so far this season, though, is nothing to complain about at all. And in 2017, Martin Truex Jr. won the championship before Furniture Row Racing shut down. Although his average finishes at Martinsville, Texas, and ISM are a bit underachieving, since his switch back to Toyota in 2016, Truex has had an increase in average finish and performance. He also has a very good 10.8 average finish at Miami, so don't sleep on him to have a shot at his second title. Truex has been dominant, no questions asked, but he isn't as dominant as my number 1 pick to win the title, Denny freaking Hamlin. Where do I even begin? With this driver having quite possibly the best season of his career, it would be a real damn shame if another choke happened. Rusty Walrus, I'm looking at you, bro. 5 wins, 17 top 5s, 21 top 10s, and an average finish of 9.3 on the season? Come on. This guy is a virtual lock for the title. But he can't afford any mishaps. From spinning out to many, and I mean many, speeding penalties on pit road. He can't have anything get in his way. That's the only way I see Hamlin losing this championship. Otherwise, his stat line from here on out is good enough to win it all. 5 wins at an average finish of 9.6 in Martinsville, 3 wins at Texas, including one in the spring, and an average finish of 11.3 at ISM. As long as Hamlin builds up a good points cushion, he will be in great shape. And I predict that Denny Hamlin will outduel the other 3 choices I have, and he will win the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Championship and break the curse for the 11 car. And with that, guys, that is going to do it for the Final 4 prediction video. Once again, I wanted to try something different this year, and I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it to you guys. But anyway, we're going to see what happens in the round of 8. But hopefully either my predictions are going to be right or they're going to be wrong. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, copy Blue Jimmy 48 fan merch through the Teespring link in the description. And be sure to join the Blue Jimmy Revolution today. I will see you all on the next video. And remember, always stay humble and kind.